Hey, Planeswalkers, Mithras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. We got a sweet top deck coming your way today with a Jund Mutate Landfall deck. That's right, we're clubbing two things together here and got a lot going on, so I appreciate you tuning in for this 6+ win Platinum to Mythic deck. Now, we're going to cover the strategy objective of this deck. We're going to talk about the list, the sideboard, and how to sideboard, and then we're going to go play some competitive Magic in both best of 1 and best of 3 today. And then we're going to wrap it all up for you in some final thoughts and where this may fit in the meta and where it could go. So with that said, Planeswalkers, truly appreciate your support. You can hop to the section of the video that makes sense for you. That timestamps are down below, deck list, all that are there. Lots of great information, the details, and I appreciate your support and thank you for that ahead of time. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there and additionally like the video. So with that said, let's hop right into it here because we do have a lot to cover, as I already mentioned. To get through. So it is a Jund Mutate Landfall deck. Now I kind of struggled because it's both Mutate, both Landfall. We club them together, we get this kind of nomenclature going on, but Jund is the green, the red, and the black, or the forest, the mountains, and the swamps, and the magic pinwheel giving us Jund. It is Mutate because we got creatures that are going to do something when they mutate. So for instance, we can cast a spell for mutate cost. We can put it under or over target non-human creature we own. They mutate into that creature plus all the top abilities, or plus all abilities on top, plus all abilities from under it. Here, this one with Boneyard Lurker, whenever this creature mutates, return target permanent card from our graveyard to our hand. So that's one example of what happens. Then additionally, we have landfall triggers here. So we'll look at Brushfire Elemental, for instance. This guy's got haste, can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. And then landfall, which is a trigger. It triggers when a land enters the battlefield in our control. In this case of Brushfire, it's going to get +2/+2 till end of turn. So there is a lot going on with this particular deck. Now, I would say this is really also a mid-rangey deck because the majority of stuff that's going to happen is really in this space. So, like, yeah, there's a lot going on with this deck. But it's pretty neat. We got a lot of cool things that are happening. I'm very excited to play this. But the reality is it's going to be a little bit slow out of the gate because we don't have anything until a turn 2 drop. The other thing here is that we aren't running mortal lands, so that could be an improvement in the deck. Additionally, you could run the scry lands that kind of help you with the color base as well. But the reality is, if you look at it, we really only have to worry about red and green for some time, and also on the doubles here in terms of Dirgebat. So keep those things in mind because it will be important over time and affect on how we want to play the deck. But we do have things that can go fetch the right colors that we need, and additionally triggering all the effects that we need. So a little slow out of the gate, going to have to matter in terms of how we play that mid-rangey game here, but once it gets moving, it's going to swell, it's going to overwhelm our opponents, and we're going to be able to do a lot of damage and a lot of stuff relatively quickly. So that is really the objective of this deck, getting these things down, leveraging Mutate, leveraging Landfall, and then just going to town. We have a lot of cool things at the top end here that are really going to do things for this deck, but we got to get there. But at the same time, we got a lot of ways to do it. So with that said, that is the deck. We are running a healthy 26 lands, which makes a lot of sense. We got a lot of thinning to do it, and a lot of things in terms of enablement here today. So if you do have questions or comments, please let me know down below. Happy to help. Also, don't forget, down in the details there is the Discord server. You guys hop in, hang out, lots of fun chatter and banter going on there too. So Planeswalkers, now we're going to do a double click in the deck. We're going to take a look at the list, and then we're going to talk about some of the sideboarding. So first off, we got Elysian Carotid. Again, this is something that will help in the mana smoothing. We can tap this guy for 1 mana of any color, or if we have a creature with 4 or greater, we can add 2. We got Lotus Cobra. It's landfall trigger. We're going to be able to add 1 mana of any color. Then we have Brushfire Elemental, which we talked about. We do have this modal land here, Shatterskull Smashing, but this one deals damage, X damage among a creature or planeswalker, or 2 of those, split it. X is 6 or more, double that damage. Or we can have it enter as a pain land. I've been saying it's not true Shockland fashion, but you can have it enter, pay 3 life for it to come in untapped, or you can have it come in tapped. We got Garruk's Uprising. So I really like this card in this deck. So what happens here is when this enters the battlefield, if we control a creature with power 4 or greater, we get a draw card. Creatures we control also have trample. So this is a huge over-the-top card and very, very helpful in terms of that mid to late game as well. And then whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under our control, draw a card. So this is huge in terms of a creature-dominated deck, in particular to constantly give us that draw and card advantage, which is going to be really, really beneficial to us. We got the good old Scute Swarm in this deck as well. So this guy's got landfall. We create a copy if we have 6 or more lands of Scute Swarm. Otherwise, we create a 1/1 green creature insect token as well. We have Garruk's Harbinger. So this guy's got hexproof from black. When it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, look at that many cards from the top of our library. We may reveal a creature card or a Garruk planeswalker, which is important because we do have one here. And then we may put it into our hand, put the rest in the bottom of our library in a random order. So it should hit because we do have a lot of creatures here as well. Then we got good old Dirgebat. So this guy's very important. So when we mutate this, whenever this creature mutates, destroy target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls. I really like that. Very, very healthy. So keep that in mind. It is a little expensive to happen, but just keep that. Now you can always play it and mutate on top as well to get that trigger, but it does have flash, does have flying as well, and is a nice 3/3 body there. We also got Migratory Greathorn. So again, this guy's a nice smoothing in terms of the lands that we may need. We can mutate it for 3. Whenever that mutates, search our library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle our library. We got Boneyard Lurker. We talked about that already. We got Auspicious Sterk. So here's really where things begin to compound. This guy mutates for 6. Yes, it costs more, but when he mutates or something mutates onto this guy, we get to exile cards from the top of our library until we exile X permanent cards, where X is the number of times this creature is mutated. Put those permanents on the battlefield. Now, don't forget the landfall triggers are going to happen with this as well. Then we got Vivian Monsters Advocate. So a big thing on this, we get card advantage. We can look at the top of our library. We can cast creatures from the top of our library. +1, we can create a 3/3 beast creature token that has reach, trample, or vigilance. And then down 2, we get a cascade effect, where essentially when we cast our next creature spell this turn, we may search our library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle our library. So very big with a lot of the things that we have going on here. So keep that in mind. We got good old Morag, Fury of a Comb here. Hopefully I can get him to work for you. We've been very close in a couple of videos. I don't think I've been able to get this guy cracked off yet, but each time a creature we control gets +1/+0 each time it is attacked, and then additionally landfall, we can essentially attack again. There's an additional combat phase after this phase, and at the beginning of that combat, untap all creatures you control. We have the good old Cursed Huntsman. So as I mentioned, we can dig for it with Harbinger there. But this guy creates with 0, 2/2 black and green wolf tokens. When they die, you get to put a loyalty counter on Garruk. -3, destroy target creature. We'll get that card draw. -6. Creatures we control get +3/+3 and have trample with a nice little emblem there. Then last but not least, we got good old Phylath World Sculptor here at 6. When it enters, we get to create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each basic land we control. Landfall, whenever land enters the battlefield in our control, put 4 +1/+1 counters on a plant we control. So very powerful, my friends. That is what we have going on with the deck. We talked about the lands. Again, you can do some of the modal land change up as you want. We talked about that a little bit. You could always go grab the Timber Ma one, or whatever it's called, as Timber Symbiosis, for instance, and a couple other things that you could certainly do within this deck as well, in terms of some of those suggestions. So that is the main board. Let's go ahead and talk about the sideboard here. So first off, we got Bloodchief's Thirst. This deals destroys target creature or planeswalker with convert mana cost 2 or less. If we kick it, any planeswalker or creature. This is really about the early game support. It's also about the support against planeswalkers. So this is great against Ugin decks. Also great against aggro decks. So things like Mono Red, Cruel Aggro, Boros Warriors, Naiwanata, those kinds of decks. We have Zagoth Mamba. So again, this is actually the only other 1-drop that we have. So 1, we have a direct kill spell. This one's also very nice. So whenever this creature mutates, target creature an opponent controls gets -2/-2 till end of turn. So a nice little strap. So we're going to play this against aggro-based decks. These things are like mono red, warriors decks, knights decks, rogues decks for sure too. So keep those things in mind. That's where we're going to play this. So really aggro-y focus there. Then we have Gem Razor here. So this guy's got reach, just got trample, works against rogues. When it mutates though, we can destroy target artifact or enchantment opponent controls. This is good in the mid-range to late game. You're going to play this against Gruul aggro. Again, that can be kind of determined as a mid-range. Also against Gruul food, mono green food, great against any of the Doom decks, great against late game Yorion decks as well, so keep those things in mind. Then we got an additional Auspicious Sterix here. I like this in the mid-range to late game lineup, Overwhelm, those kinds of things. So good against like Rakdos decks, Selesnya decks, Sultai, those kind of mid-rangey ones. Also, again, good in the mirror match here. Then last but not least, I did throw some Nethroi Apex of Deaths in here. So really, again, great in the mid-range, great at the late game. Death Touch Lifelink when this guy mutates. Again, very, very nice high-end card here. We get to return any number of target creature cards with total power 10 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield. So this is a healthy one. Even though it's an Abzan, we don't need the white. We can play it without it, and that's how we're going to play this particular one as well here. Now, Planeswalkers, I did change up the sideboard a little bit myself. I wanted to make it consistent, and in terms of where I felt some of the weakness was within this particular deck. I think there were only about 6 cards on this board when I picked it up. So happy to kind of round it out there for you, and always things that you can kind of change up. But I wanted to go with the mutate theme as much as I could here as well, and then also build off of some of that landfall. So with that said, we're now going to talk about the aggro, the mid-range, and the late game lineup, and how we're going to board. We did hit that pretty hard already in terms of the sideboard, but in that aggro lineup, you're probably going to do potentially these 4 here. And then what I would look to move out, honestly, is probably more so on the top end here. Some of these things are what you can get rid of. I would probably get rid of a Comb here. I'd probably there's a hard debate between Phylath World Sculptor for me, and also Garruk. You could consider making it really, really easy and dumping both the reds. So then the only time you need to actually get a red is for Brushfire Elemental. That could be one. The other thing that you can do too is you could actually pull these out. You could dump Brushfire Elemental, and then you could really focus on that early game protection, and then additionally some of that ramp and key pieces for mutate as well. So if you did do that, that gives you 6. Pretty healthy there from that perspective. The other thing that you could do then is particularly I'd maybe look at removing Dirgebat as well, and then you still have Boneyard, Lurker. These kinds of 2 are kind of where I'd focus next in terms of removal, but it also depends on what I'm playing against here, and if this is actually going to do the trick. But certainly plenty of spots that you can do, essentially moving your top end forward, but we do want to make sure that we got some nice finishers, or you could focus on Scute Swarm and just flood the board here against your aggro matchup. Then in mid-range, these are going to be things like Rakdos Escape. They could be some more control type decks. Additionally, it could be Selesnya, Bounce, Selesnya mid-range, also Sultai mid-range. There's plenty of mid-range decks that we do run into. Also, similar with the artifact decks that we've been playing. You're probably most likely going to end up, if it's a control-based deck, I would probably throw in Auspicious Sterix and maybe Nethroi, and that's probably it, to be honest. Blood Chief's Thirst if you really need to remove something off the board. If it's more creature based, you may then kind of think about these 3 here and go from there. So realistically, maybe 4 that you're going to take off here. What I would do in this case in particular, I would consider Garruk's Harbinger depending on what we're playing, and then I would maybe look in this space in terms of mutate. I'd probably try and keep my higher end stuff intact and really work on that ramp. So plenty of good spaces for you to kind of remove and cut out. In worst case scenario, if you need to, you could always go for a land. You could drop an Evolving Wilds, because the best thing that's really going to help you for is early game brush. It will help with some of those other triggers, obviously, but that kind of helps you too from a pace perspective. Then last but not least, we got late game decks. These are control decks. These can be things like mono red, big red, mono black. We saw a bunch of those mono black decks yesterday. You guys can check that out. But what I would do against the late game decks, particularly Doom decks, you're going to want Gem Razor in, probably going to go with Auspicious Derricks and Nethroy. What I would do is really move towards the top end of this curve and then look to remove things like Dirgebat. I would also maybe remove Boneyard Lurker. So that gives you 4. You're going to want to keep your ramp and you're going to want to keep your go wide strategy here. You could go a little bit slower. You could remove Brushfire Elemental if you wanted to as well. Just remember though that each of these guys is something you can hit with Mutate, so you want to keep that in mind as well. So that's kind of where I'd look to focus. Again, you're moving from this way, or sorry, this way, that way, towards kind of like game. So that's what we got going on, Planeswalkers. Again, hope you enjoyed that. We talked about the main board, we talked about the sideboard, we talked about strategy objective of the deck. We talked also about some of the weakness and where this is going to kind of fit in here early. But let's go see how this plays now, because that's what we want to do. So again, let's go ahead and hop into it here. We'll save and exit, and we will go right in that standard rank. So yesterday we ran the Esper Monument ramp deck, so pretty fun. Today we're going to run the Jund Mutate Landfall deck. And we are going to go ahead now and play some best of one. Planeswalkers, really appreciate you tuning in. So we talked about where this deck may excel. We talked about some of the strategy objectives of this as well. So looking forward to these best of one decks or matches. If you do have questions or comments, let me know down below. Happy to help. You can hop in the Discord server as well, and information's there available for you in the details. I will actually keep this, even though the mana is kind of weird, just because I can hit Lotus Cobra and go from there and get a few different things, or we can go Lazy and Carotid. Going to depend if they're playing a mono red aggro deck. This is going to hurt. But with that said, as we're here still against Cafe Nakopa, just want to say thank you, Planeswalkers. Really, I appreciate your support. So please feel free to subscribe down over there and like the video. And while we're waiting for them to make a decision, feel free to like me on Facebook. You can also follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this and other great ways to support the channel down below. So not surprising. So this one's stuck with it here. So we will do. I'm debating if I go Lotus Cobra first. I think I'm going to do this. So for 6, we can mutate. So we'll certainly take the damage here. So here's how we get a decent amount on. We go green. We get this guy in. We'll attack in. We'll see if they block. I don't think they will. Alright, so what we can do though next turn is we can actually mutate. We can actually mutate Batra in here if we want. They're not going to be able to hit a cleave yet, so we're okay with that. I could block there. We're going to let it go, though. Ooh. So here's what we're going to do in terms of trickiness. I'm going to go grab that second black one just in case. That's big. So cleave will be close. You go to 4, 5, 10. So definitely lethal if they go cleave. If they don't have it, though, this could be a little interesting. We'll just do that for fun. Now that is very interesting. Ooh. Red. We can get him in. So they need lethal here. They could be close. Now we can get 2 attack rounds if we get through here. So they're going to have cleave. Very obvious, my friend. Very obvious. All right, well, we know that they were thinking pretty hard on that one, but it was a pretty linear deck, so not going to have too many concerns there. But yes, I did actually move up to Diamond Tier 4. Thank you for asking. Anyway, all right, Planeswalkers. So mono red deck, like I said, the aggro decks are going to be more problematic. We had a chance there, but not bad. Let's go ahead here and go into our second best of 1. We did get close, so you can see kind of how some of that color lineup works there with the Elysian Carotid, with the good old landfall triggers and all of that. All right, so here we can continue to play. We have a late game deck, so we'll see how this goes. Looks like control. So that could be a little bit more of a challenge. We'll find out. So if I go Lotus Cobra, so I think we do this. I think we do that. So next turn we could play Lotus and Harbinger. Let's see what they play though. If we can get Garuk on. Esper deck. There we go. So they're probably not running counters, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, maybe they are. Go grab a swamp. We'll see if this counts. There we go. So now if they go to kill something here with like a Doom, we'll probably pull Lotus first. Okay, so we don't need to there. We can go Huntsman then, which is nice. As long as they don't have a counter. We'll try it. Oh, painful. Painful. That's all right. Let's grab the Scute. Ooh, there we go. We are one shy, so just keep that in mind. I got Maze Mind. No, there you go. Not gonna be able to bring anything back there. Let's do this guy first. Ah, they get a board wiper then. They can bring him back too, that's why they did that. But if we can hit a landfall... Oh, there you go. Not bad. Oh, it's got a midnight clock too. There you go. That's gonna be the real pain for me. Alright, we'll get him on the board. We'll take the risk. Could use a land. Could use a land. Struggling a little bit here. Oh, here we go. Maybe they don't. We'll see. They probably have a counter though. They had one negate. Oh, there we go.
We will adapt to any threat.
Keep that up. Oh, of course, so much control. It's painful. Let's see what we can do here. Look at that guy back. So it might be a double here. So here's why I waited. But that, I'm locked in on that one here. Probably kill spell though. Maybe. Oh. All right, we're just gonna do it because we're toast otherwise. Well, at least slow him down one turn. Very aggressive. Very aggressive. All right, let's see what we hit here. Oh. We'll go one more card if we get anything of value. If not, we'll move on here because this is gonna be a whole chip game, and they'll reset with the midnight clock. So we don't want to play one card top deck Magic against 7 or more. We don't really have anything either in this deck that's going to be able to remove anything. And that's gonna do it. So let's go into our third and final best of one. So we've seen some of the deck, you know, didn't hold up against the early game, doesn't hold up against kind of the more control stuff like we kind of talked about. So proving out exactly. Hopefully we can run into something that's a little bit more mid-rangey. We'll find out here though. And more of an Esper Doom type deck. That one was not an Esper Doom deck. It was more an Esper control. So a little bit better positioned in terms of what we had there. So we got Philly May here. So we go first. Let's give this a shot. We will try it. It's going to be slow, but we can get to Scute. We'll see. We got Migratory Greathorn as well. So we'll take a run at it, and we'll see how this run goes. And then we're going to go play some best of 3 with this deck. And we'll see if we can knock something out there. Mono red. That is a start for sure. Only problem I have here is probably going to hit a Bone Crusher here. If they don't get Scute off the board here, we'll be in an okay spot. Ooh, that was nice, actually, very nice. So now the question is, what do I play? Oops, wrong one. I meant to play that. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. That was a bad misplay. I was like looking at the 3. I was thinking 3 drop, and it should have been that. That's okay. We're gonna get wrecked by robbers of the riches here. All right, here we go. This time we will do something different. I'm gonna go on that one. Oh, no. We want this. There we go. So we have Dirge Bath, and we have Shatter Skull Smashing, which we can take off both the Robbers of the Rich. They're not going to have... They won't have enough damage here. 4, 7. They could shock something. They could go up to... I don't want to block with this one per se, but I think that's where we block. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we do this first. Oh, that's tricky. I could migrate though and still hit on that. That might be the better way to do it. Let's go grab a green. There we go. So we got two. We could get a lot of guys going here. Let's do this. Let's grab a red. There we go. We'll make those scutes. Oh, here we go. This is kind of painful. I won't lie.
I speak for the wilds, unbound and diversity is our greatest strength.
We need to grab a green. We're good. See, well, at least we did take out a mono red deck. So lost a mono red, lost to Esper control, beat a mono red. We had a little bit of luck there though on our side where they could not hit the lands that they wanted to. So they were very aggressive there with their keep. So we'll take it. With that said, Planeswalkers, let's go ahead here now and play our best of 3 traditional standard ranked. Again, there's that Esper Monument ramp deck that we did yesterday. Today is a Jund Mutate Landfall deck. So to summarize, in terms of best of 1, we went 1 and 2. Played exactly kind of how we thought. We did end up being an aggro deck, mono red, in our third best of 1 match, which was good. So Planeswalkers, as always, if you have questions, comments, let me know down below. Hop in the Discord server, happy to help. Additionally, truly appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe down over there, and additionally like the video. We're going to play first. This is a really bad keep. This is not much better, but we will play this. We'll get rid of that. Also, feel free to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, stay up to date on content like this. Great way to support the channel down below in the description as well. And you guys can continue to follow my journey on Untapped and see how things are going. I do have the Untapped companion app down there available for you too, so you can share your journey and track your statistics. I'm a big stats person. Uh-oh. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, sack deck. We would play a sack deck when we are playing a creature-based deck. Of course. Of course. Well, now all I can say is hopefully, they don't have another one of those. Ooh, party. Oh, we would play a sack deck with our own creature-based deck. So this is going to be a interesting best of 3. And we will continue to just totally get hosed here on our mana base. And they hit curve perfectly. Good news is we do have Garuks. I may just concede here, just so that I don't have to show that I'm running Garuks, because we're gonna not be able to come back from this. So we're just gonna concede so that we can keep that card hidden. So now what though we get to do is let's go have some fun with a couple different things here. So they got a bunch of small things. Let's dump this. Let's go here. We don't need that. I might go these, and we're gonna go real hard on a couple of these things here. We still need the mutates, right? So let's go one on the top. All right, let's try that. Mambas, though. We'll see. All right, let's try that. We'll try something a little bit different. We're going to try the straps for some of the creatures that they have. Then that way, also, if they steal something, won't be as much value. That's the name of the game. And then when we keep the bigger stuff, they can't steal it. So that's a good spot for us too. We'll play first. Not what we need. This is okay. Try this. I will dump. I like Garuk though. This is going to work on that. I'm going to dump Blood Chiefs. We'll see. They're like, what the heck is this thing? And at 4, I can't take my Great Horn. Oh, they got Garuk. They got Garuk. No way. No way! I will do this though. We'll grab a... We need a double black usually. Nope, I had one there. That's fine. Should have been green. Ouch. Ouch. I'm going to keep him back just so that they can't steal it and sack it. Ooh. I'll throw him on there in case they do want to steal. Take the damage. Alright, not hitting the lands. Keep our hand empty. Block here. Oh, that's lethal. All right, let's go into one more best of 3 and see how this goes. So that was extremely unfortunate for us there today. Let's go into the next one, see how we do, my friends. This deck is struggling quite a little bit here, so we'll see. Definitely fun to play, but we haven't even been able, we got it to connect nicely once today in the third best of 3 match. Let's see if we can get it to connect a little bit better. We did tee up well in that best of 3 match there. The second one, we had those things that could have kept wiping the board, but we just did not keep hitting that value. We'll play first. This is a terrible start again, so we'll mulligan. This is a very bad start again, but we do have the Fabled Passages, so I'm going to keep it. I'm actually going to drop this guy, and we'll go there, and let's hope we can get something that's more likely. Let's grab the green for now. Would have been a really nice tee up there. Katie Beth 17 it is. Or 716 it is. Okay. Let's go grab that red. Now, a rogue's deck like this, horrible match for this deck. We will try it though, because we have to try it. But it is certainly not what we want to be playing against here. I'm gonna go grab that black. Grab that red. We'll get this guy on the board. I can live with that. Oh, what? There we go. I can live with that though. Whoops. Slight misplay there. I should have dropped that and then brought it, but I wouldn't have attacked in because the Thieves of Guild Enforcer would have hit it anyway. So we have to be careful of that. We'll streamline this deck again, similar to what we did in the last match. All right, good. Let's grab that green. One, two, three, four, five, six. All right, we're going to play it correct this turn. Let's grab another green. Now that, my friends, is a lot of damage. So hopefully we don't get milled out here. They're going to play another crab, at least. Yeah. Oh, oh. Could be close. Depends on if they got more rogues. If they got some rogues, we're done. They got enough. Then it's the Brazen. Alright, let's go in the next one. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into a little bit quicker strapping there. We're going to dump this. We can dump Garuk. We'll dump that. Vivian's okay. Scoot's alright. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of that guy. I'm going to go real tight on this here. Dump Boneyard Lurker. We'll go 2 there. So play something like this. Alright, let's try it. We'll give this one a run. We'll give this a run. green, red. We'll have enough to mutate into this. Oh, we gotta go get that green. Try it here. Ooh. That hurts big time. That one hurt big time. Not happy about that. This one I can deal with. Grab another red. One, two, three, four, five. We can kill the Nighthawk. We can play Gem Razor, get a draw out of Uprising. That works. I don't know if it's a bait. Pull it. It's fine. Let's grab. Green. We will certainly draft the borrower next turn. Let's grab red. And the green. Get the draw. And we got the defense. All right, Katie Beth. Are we going to split this match? That is the question. Thank you. Sorry. My bad. So you'll go to 7. I will deal you 10. So 3, it's not lethal, but you'll lose your guy. Did you get it? Did you get it? There we go. We got it. Let's go to the next one. Whew, that worked out. The straps did it for us. We'll keep it. We'll try it again. We'll see if we can close this one out here today. I'm gonna mulligan on this, even though I got all these. Oh, it's close. This is a tough one. Shoot, we should have kept. Oh, my friends, I don't think you know how much that hurt. Against the rogues deck, mill deck. Oh my gosh. Well, maybe it'll pay off. We'll see. I don't think so though. They actually threw some kill spells in this time, so we'll see. Here comes the rogue. Ooh, look at that. Gotta be careful there on what we're giving them. If we pull a land and they crack out and don't kill anything here, we could be close to lethal. We'll see. Shoot. I'm going to save this for right now, though.
That's it. I'm done.
I'll take a block here, depending on what it is. There we go. Still in it. Still in it. We could go to 5. Oh, we need that land. There we go. If we come back from this, be pretty impressive. Be pretty impressive. We got a kill spell here, though. They're clicking on it. Oh. Oh, good game. I don't think they're gonna... I'll see how they block, but they'll probably do that. Alright, Planeswalkers, we are done for the day with the Jund Mutate deck here, Landfall. So fun, interesting. We did get a little challenge there in the mulliganing, got very aggressive. We did end up having a nice little draw, but we just couldn't get there. The Nighthawks kind of held us back. But let's go ahead and check out this deck. So overall today, we went 1 and 2 in best of 1, and we went 0 and 3 or sorry, 0-2 in best of 3. We did split against a Rogues deck, a little bit different kind of one. You know, either way, was a good match. Bad lineup for us. We did not play well, or well, really draw well in that last game here. So looking at this deck, aligned to the initial thoughts in terms of where this kind of fits. You know, aggro decks are tough. The control decks are kind of hard. Not going to hold up well against rogues. I think we hit everything, to be honest. And then we had an interesting kind of Rakdos Mardu sack deck thrown in there in the best of 3 as well, where we just could not quite get there. So a little bit slow. You really need to be able to stick to the board and build it. We did overrun with Scoot Swarm once. Honestly, I would say in both best of 1 and best of 3, this is probably at the highest, a low tier 2, certainly a tier 3 deck, to be honest. So very fun nonetheless. Again, this was a platinum to mythic 6+ win deck. Now, there are certain things that we talked about that you could change up to potentially make this a little bit stronger or better. You need to tighten up the early game. Additionally, it's great to have some of these top end things here, but you know, this is going to be the one time that I would say you probably don't want to do that. You're probably going to want to be a little bit more consistent on the top end. So a little bit better here, clean that up, and also on the bottom end to help you with that curve, I think would make a big difference. Additionally, on some of those lands there, it did really help us. When we moved these guys in here in our best of 3 match, we got to see those results, particularly against that rogue deck. We didn't see it as much against the sack deck. But again, I did play around and add to the sideboard here, given what I thought we might hit, and it did certainly helped. Playing the main board here, and those would have been a little bit more of a challenge. So Planeswalkers, hope you guys enjoyed the deck. Again, a Jund Mutate Landfall type mechanic going on. We've got a few things a little conflicting with it, but nonetheless, certainly a fun deck here today. Planeswalkers, again, hope you enjoyed today's top deck. If you have questions or comments, let me know down below. Happy to help as always. Additionally, feel free to hop in the Discord server, and I truly appreciate your support, so please feel free to subscribe down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, stay up to date on content like this. Stay safe, Planeswalkers. I'll see you guys again soon. I'm trying to hit these 100 decks here now. Really want to get close. I'll get it done here in January, so stay tuned for that. Got a lot more coming your way. All right, take care.